Okay, so I'm going to make the cream filling for these cream puffs that I'm going to make with my Chouquettes. So first step is to add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. So basically I want a cup of heavy whipping cream. As you can see in my mixer, I'm going to use the whisk this time. Put all my whipping cream in. Really, I want to just mix. So this will take a little bit of time, but as you can see, there's air, and once this whips up, it'll become very much like the standard whipped cream that you find, in a can. Now, at any time, you can do this a little bit later if you wish, or you can even do it now. You can even do it from the beginning. I'm going to add a tablespoon of sugar. So mix a tablespoon of sugar in there, and then I'm going to add some vanilla. Now, if you have real vanilla, like the actual vanilla beans, go ahead and use that. If you don't, like me, and you just have vanilla extract, then I use about 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So just a little bit of vanilla extract. And then I'm just going to let this whip. So you want to let the cream whip for a good amount of time. You want it to form peaks, definitely. So you want it to form peaks, but you don't want to over whip it, because if you over whip it, it starts to turn yellowish, and it really doesn't come out all that good. So the other thing with the Chouquettes is they're done. It's been about maybe 15 minutes or so, so they're pretty cool at this point. The reason why you want to wait for them to cool is after you slice them open and you put the cream in, you want them to stay that way. If it's too hot, the cream will start to melt, and then it'll get really messy. So as you can see, the consistency of the whipped cream is starting to get to where we want to be, but it's still nowhere near where we need it to be. And the recipe that I had for the Chouquettes, typically this is enough whipped cream to fill most of them, if not all of them, depending on how much cream you actually use per cream puff. Let's just let this do its thing. So when you're doing this, you do want to watch it. You don't want to leave and go watch TV or something, because in essence you probably will over whisk it. So you do want to kind of sit here and watch it form. And I typically like a very sort of light cream, so I do want to whisk it enough to get to that. If you were to take it out now, it would work, but it isn't really the sort of airy whipped cream texture that I see. So it definitely is starting to get lighter and fluffier. I can smell the vanilla, so you should be able to get some of those aromas in as well. So So now at this point, the whipped cream is bunching up in the middle, and it's no longer heading back to the sides. So this is about where, hey, I think it's ready to go, and I'm pretty happy now. So it's made that sort of transition from being a liquid into sort of this fluffier foam. So that transition point just happened a few seconds ago. So this is usually when I'm pretty happy. So I will let this go, and I will shut this off. So once it's off, I do want to use my rubber spatula to get all this cream off. And similar to before, when we were piping the actual chew to make the chouquettes, I'm going to take all of this whipped cream, I'm going to put it into my piping bag, and I'm going to still use the same eclair tip that I have, mainly because that's like basically the only tip that I have. And then at that point I'm going to fill these, so we'll do that right now. Let's move over to here, and so we're back to, here's the cream. I hope you can see all that. And now that I've got some actual cream here, and it looks like it's the right consistency that I want, I'm going to do what I did before. I have my bag here. I've cleaned it up. I'm going to open it up, similar to what I did last time. Make a hole like that. Take this end, pinch it up so that stuff doesn't fall out of it, and I'm going to start filling this. Now, in addition to filling this with the cream, I also need to grab a small knife so that I can start slicing these open. So I will be doing that. So this is all the whipped cream. It all fit in here in the piping bag at once, which is nice because then I don't have to redo this. Once it's all in, flatten this out again. You can kind of see that it's all sitting right here, so I'm going to flatten this out because all the whipped cream is up here in the middle. I want to push it off to the end. Use my dough scraper to help me do that. Okay. So now I've got a pipe that's pretty much ready to go. All the cream is right here. You can kind of see through the end that it's off the tip. I'm going to get my knife. Now that I have my knife, I'll start with one of these. You just want to take this, now that it's cooled down, you're going to cut this right here in the middle. Be careful as you cut it, but as you cut these, I don't usually cut them all the way, but I cut them enough so that I can form a little opening here. So you'll see that it opens up, and voila, there's a little hole in the middle of that. So in that hole is where I'm going to be placing the cream. So I'm going to go in and cut all of these like that. You know, so they're kind of like 3/4 of the way cut like that. That's really all I'm going to do. So for all of these, once these are all cut, now you don't necessarily want to cut all of them, because in the chance that you run out of the cream filling, then you want to keep some of these as just regular chouquettes and let people eat them that way. So I'm going to leave a few of these not cut, and then I'm going to start actually filling them with cream. So do do that. Go back to my pipe here. What I did last time. I'll start from the top here. So if that's opened up like that, I'm going to open that up with one hand. The other hand, if it'll fold out, that's even better. The other hand, I'm going to place it right there. And as you can see, we're going to put cream in. And I put in about that much cream. So I hope you can see that. This is the amount of cream that I stuck in here. It's enough where once I close it, you can kind of see it, but it's not so overwhelming that it dominates the taste of the actual cream puff. Now some people like to put a lot of cream in, and so for those folks, fine, you can add as much cream as you want. I'll show you an example of that where here, this one's got more cream than they usually put. So when you close it, you still see cream opened up that way. So you can do it this way, or you can do it more like this where it's a little bit more hidden. I tend to make it a little bit more subtle like that, but you know, it is kind of a personal preference kind of thing. Got a lot more cream in here, but I need to scrape it up. So I am starting to run a little bit low on my cream, so see how far I get. I can probably do like maybe 1 to 2 more with this much cream. That's in. Yeah, and that's probably actually about it. So I've got a little bit of cream left in here. I don't think it's going to be enough for one of these. I also, if you remember, I didn't cut all of these, so I kind of stopped cutting here, and that's probably about right. I can add a little bit more to this one just to add a little bit more cream there, but that's how we are. So, so far total, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've made 16 cream puffs total. This is from the other batch. And I've left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them as standard Chouquettes, and then the rest of them all have cream in them. So this is how I'm going to store this. This is how I'm going to take them to any type of party or gathering, and I'll let people say, hey, if you really like cream, have the cream puffs. If you, for whatever reason, don't really like cream, don't want, because this is dairy, while the other ones here are not. They don't contain dairy, so if you're lactose intolerant or something like that, these Chouquettes are fine. They're just, you know, it's water, flour, and eggs, and some of the sugar. So they can also do that as well. So here they are. Voila. I think we're done here. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me make this video. I hope that you will try this at home, and if you do,